Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is October 6th. It's Takeoff Tuesday. I'm excited to be here with you this morning, and congratulations to you for being on this training first thing in the morning, especially for us on the West Coast. What a great way to start out your morning with a marketing training. And these morning trainings are phenomenal because we are spending an hour with a few different leaders in different markets who are really seeing a lot of success. And so we get to learn from them what is working for them and what's not working for them. So our quote of the day today is, thankfully, persistence is a great substitute for talent. So be persistent. We have some dates to take note of. Coming up just in a couple of weeks is our 2020 Renatus Regionals training. The Regionals training is 2 days of training. So we'll have a day of training with on a national leadership level and then more on a local level. And so make sure if you need to take off work or just clear out those 2 days so that you can be present with us for those 2 days of training. You don't want to miss it. Also, we have our dates for National Conference, March 18th through the 20th, 2021. We will be meeting online for our nationals in 2021, and the theme will be shifting higher into focused transformation. Leaders Retreat, August 13th through the 17th, 2021. We are going to Mexico. Very excited to see you all there. And if you have not already, make sure you visit oes.com. Michael and his team put this together to just help people stay informed basically with what the OES is and what it includes. It's nothing new. OES has been around for a while, but we are just doing this to make sure that you're informed and again, know what it's for and the benefits that come with it. So check out that website. There's a 6-minute video. Michael explains the OES, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Once you're a part of the OES, we've added a couple of events that you'll want to take advantage of. We have a masterclass on private capital every week on Thursdays with Dane Clark. Dane has now raised over $15 million from private investors or private capital to go towards various transactions. And so Dane will be facilitating that. And he is, of course, requiring that you watch a few of the private capital classes before attending because we have to, it's based off of our education. So we have to be familiar with the technique, familiar with the strategies, and he will help us implement it. So that's very valuable every Thursday, an hour before our group of other meetings that we have usually on Thursdays. And then also every morning after this call for 30 minutes, we are doing a daily morning real estate investing mastermind. So watch your classes and jot down any action steps or any questions that you have and bring those with you to this mastermind. And now for almost 2 weeks, we've been having some really great discussions. So plug in with that. Also daily at 1 p.m. Central Time. So that would be noon Mountain Time. Scott Rowe and Michael Huggins are now doing just a short 15-minute get-to-know-you call where they talk about different stories and they'll do just a short interview with different students. And the purpose of this is to invite your guests so that they can get another exposure or another different type of touch with Renatus to see what Renatus is doing for other people. So plug into that in order to attend that, you'll just want to visit the website I have at the bottom, bit.ly/zoomup with a capital Z. And that's how you plug in with that on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. And then also, I don't have this listed here, but every Friday now, most of you are aware that we've added on our Friday morning training. So instead of just Monday through Thursday that we've been doing that for years, we're now Monday through Friday. Did want to highlight last week's tour. Gavin is working on 2 flips at a time, and he's building up to 5 to 6 flips at a time. And that's just really, really amazing that we're able to do that with the education. That's what the education is built to do. I know our trainer today, Predebon, he's usually doing 4, 5, 6 flips at a time. And so with this one, Gavin purchased it for $310 and the ARV is for $80,000. He will be walking away with a $40,000 net profit in just 6 to 8 short weeks. So congratulations, Gavin. That's what we toured last week. And this week we will be doing another tour on Wednesday, a different deal. So if you'd like to take a screenshot of this screen, this is our weekly agenda. Every Tuesday, we do a profits intro at 12:30 with Michael Huggins. So Michael Huggins spends 50 minutes. He keeps it under an hour and he does a fantastic job going over the profits. And it's been a lot of fun on those webinars because there have been people from all over the world on the webinar, which is really, really cool. So every Tuesday at 12:30 Mountain Time. And every Wednesday, we are doing our house tour in English, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And on Thursday, we have a whole bunch going on. So make sure you plug in with what is suitable for you and your goals. If you're focused on marketing, you'll want to plug in with the pillars of wealth, the follow-up and funding webinar, the onboarding. And if you're more so focused on your education, plug in with the study groups and get your new students plugged in with our study groups. So every Thursday, we have a house tour in Spanish. We have our Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, follow-up and funding webinar. We have onboarding for both students and guests. We have an essential study group in both English and Spanish. We have a business development study group. And as I mentioned, multiple real estate study groups, fix and flip, wholesaling, multifamily, and short-term rental. This Friday, we are doing a fun event with Eric Counts. Eric Counts will be going over with us some new marketing tools in Helios. So because of this month's events and regionals being this month, we had our Super Saturday basically collided with another event. So we're doing Fabulous Friday in lieu of our Super Saturday, and it's just gonna be a couple of quick hours, 6 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We're meeting with Eric Counts, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Don't wanna miss it. On Saturday this weekend, on the 10th, we are having a fix and flip intensive with the one and only Heather Herring, our fix and flip instructor. She's done over 850 transactions in her career as a flipper. And that's in just 10 years, which equates to about a flip every other day, which is very, very, very impressive. So we definitely want to get our guests in front of Heather so that they can see the quality of our education. So that is happening on Saturday, and you can use this number here listed to get more information. We do record these calls. We're on both Facebook Live and on YouTube. Renata's Team Elevate private Facebook page has a lot of important announcements there. Also, you can catch most of the recordings on the Facebook page. Also, you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of on there, many years worth of these recording trainings on there. So make sure to take advantage of both of these resources. Lots and lots of value for you. Today, we get to learn from Bill Predebon. Bill Predebon is someone who I've gotten to know over the last 4.5 years. It's already almost been 5 years now that I've been a part of Renata's and working with Bill. Bill and I both work out of Scottsdale, Arizona. And I miss seeing you, Bill. I'm not gonna lie. It's been since March that we've been not meeting in person, and Bill just has such amazing energy. He is so very passionate about Renata's. And so I really, really do miss going to trainings and just being around that energy. So Bill has a really, really interesting background, and let's learn a little bit more about Bill's background. So before Renata's, he was a pro skier for 10 years, and that was in Vail, Colorado. And after doing that for 10 years, he realized he wasn't really qualified to do much else, and he should maybe look for some other income opportunities. He got into the franchise business and he owned a couple of stores, but due to lack of knowledge, he ended up losing everything and it costed him the business. In 2007, he heard about real estate investing, but he did not have education. So he did attempt to just start real estate investing on his own, and that was right before the crash. And he also decided it would be a great idea to become a loan officer and a realtor. So during the crash, he ended up upside down in over $400,000 in debt. And Thankfully, right after that was when Bill found Renatus. And with his first year in Renatus, he made 8 times more than he did the previous year and was able to pull himself out of that hole that he was in. Since then, Bill has completed over 150 deals. I'd be curious if he's tallied those up to see where he's at. Bill has grossed multiple 7 figures in real estate. He's also a marketing leader. So not only has Bill taken the education and for 10 years now has been putting the education to use and has, like I mentioned, earned himself millions of dollars because of that, but he's also a marketing leader. So he is enrolling students and really setting a great example for us. So he's on the PIT, which is the President's Advisory Council in training, and take notes. I'm very excited for what Bill has to share with us this morning. Good morning, Bill.
Can you see me okay?
There you are. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, that's all good. I'm on my laptop. I'm out in sunny Southern. It's not very sunny this morning. It's pretty foggy. Southern California. Enjoying this weather. Every time I come out here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not leaving. It's so amazing. So thanks. Yeah, I miss you too, Keely Beals. Right? We had so much fun in the meetings, you guys, but these meetings are fun too. It is harder to get that. In fact, on the Pit Pat call yesterday, folks, we were just talking about energy on the Zooms, you know, like every time we got to be a little bit more on purpose to deliver the message that we want to deliver. And, you know, not just the folks talking all the time or contributing, but, you know, when you do your testimonies or, you know, just showing up on time and showing up, full out, you know, and having video on, commenting if you can, and of course just staying throughout the whole meeting instead of chiming out a little early. So that's all good stuff to remember. So yeah, we got to bring some energy to this room. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Keely, for all you do. Today, since I'm in Cali and it's not 100 degrees out, I didn't get up at 5:30 to walk my dogs. I got up at 6:30 so I could go over to, I don't know, the gas station, get some gas station coffee. And, but you, on the other hand, have to get up and plan the agenda and put together a little recording of a, you know, of a generally speaking, and then put together a Woody Woodward little story there and make sure the Zoom is on 15 minutes early. So you are awesome every day. Just doing what you do, and on top of that, you're leading by example. You're freaking making sales in the pandemic, and just truly embracing everything Renatus has to offer. So that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Awesome. And everyone else on this darn call, you too. You guys are killing it, man. You're out here. What do we have? A capacity 100 people yesterday for Mr. Mikey Mike out there, knocking them out of the park with his great trainings. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate every one of you being here, listening to little old me. And, you know, it's funny, you know, Michael Huggins is, you know, one of several that you want to listen to. I mean, if you want to take advice in about Renatus marketing and growing your business and doing your business, you know, Michael Huggins is one of the top people you, if not the one person you want to listen to, you know, and then Scott and anybody else. It starts with obviously anything Bob Snyder has to say. If you get on the, you know, webinars, or just at least catch the recordings, man, when Bob speaks, everybody should listen. He's got some gift, the way he can command a room and move people through emotional, I don't know, whatever the word I'm looking for, feelings, but also be able to deliver an incredible message on what to do and how to do it so simply. You know, and then you've got guys like Dane Clark and Wanda, who are, you know, living, breathing, you know, marketers. You know, they kill it both on the real estate and the marketing. You know, I don't for me, I'm privileged and honored to be on the pack. I'm going to talk a little bit about a few things, but I feel like I told Michael this the other day. I feel like the reason sometimes that I'm here is maybe to remind you of some of the things that you may want to not do and on your way through your marketing business. You know what I mean? Because honestly, it's the fastest way to money. I know that sounds, I don't know, stupid, or, you know, you've heard it before, or, you know, easier said than done, but the marketing is the fastest way to money. It's the fastest way for you to make money. And, you know, I was talking to my realtor out here, and I'll get some stories for you guys so you can relate. Oh, always as I get started, you guys are awesome. This is so cool. I just love being here. I'm going to put up my cellular information, my cellular phone. I don't even know what that is. So I don't know why it's, I guess it's got cells in it or something. 760-533-31441. 760-533-3141. All right. Everyone on the call, you guys know the format, and girls, if you are interested in, hi Delilah, I see you're here. That's so cool. Anybody, if you're interested in a topic, in something you're doing in your, hey Tamara, in your marketing business, and you want, hey Wanda, you want me to talk about something, give you a story, my advice, my opinion, whatever it may be, then feel free to just text it in the chat or come off mute, or whatever you'd like. Ooh, I got to admit a person. Cool. So you guys know that. Free reign, have at it, jump in, interrupt. So I'm going to talk about a couple things. I'm out here in San Diego, and I am, my wife and I are, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a prospect, right, who I sent a video to.
Okay, which video?
It was an introduction video.
Perfect. Go ahead.
I sent him to it. He liked it, but he said he don't want to join because he said that he spent a lot of money throughout the years on real estate programs like ours, and nothing worked. So and so that's the reason why he don't want to spend no more money with this one. That's the reason why he don't want to join this one, because he don't want to spend no more money. So what's my response be to him?
Okay, great. I love this. So this is exactly what I was talking about, because if you ask Michael Huggins this, he'd probably have the answer and could close the guy. All right. Okay. You guys are probably going to be like me. And what I'm going to do is not do the right thing. I'm going to tell you what our natural instincts, I think, might be to handle this. And then I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, what you should do. And so what I've done is not necessarily the right thing to do. First of all, we're always going to say, if we're texting or calling, whatever we're going to do through whatever media we're using, we're going to be like, right, okay, no, I understand that. That makes sense. We're going to sympathize with them and understand them, and we're going to coddle them a little bit, which is fine. In any case, we always want to, there you go. Wanda's putting in some information. Bring him up to Zoom up to see some stories. Yep, stories sell. And then we're going to be like, but there's differences. We're going to want to tell them why this is different. We're going to want to tell them, that didn't work, and it's okay because ours is better and different, and we're going to want to explain it to them. And that's great, but all they're hearing is blah, 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 because they've already made up their mind in their own minds so far. So then I'm going to go and I'm going to be like, hey, would it interest you to come to a tour? You could go to Zoom up and watch a story. Let me tell you about Jimmy, Billy or Wanda, who spent all this money, right? And then now she's doing this, right? And those are all the right things to do. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. However, at some point, there's a couple things we got to think of. Number one is, so what next? Okay. The guy saw the intro, told you he's not going to do it. He doesn't want to spend any money. And okay, see you later, man. I'll drip on you. I'll send you a video in a month. Let me know how that's working for you. Before you do that, right, folks, you may want to think of a script and a campaign and an idea and put this person in a bucket. And this person wants real estate. They want to learn how to do real estate. They've spent money on real estate and they're still looking. If somebody showed me Renatus or some other company, one of you guys, if Dane Clark started a training and it was like, hey, Bill, I'm going to charge this much money to do, I guarantee you could raise another $1 million. I'm not looking. Like, it could be the best thing since sliced bread, and what I've got works. What I'm doing, I need to focus on more. The education I have is good enough. Everything I need is right here. So in my opinion, I'm not looking for stuff. But if he's looking for some information and he's out talking to you and he's out searching, or she, then whatever they have isn't working. So now as salespeople and people that are trying to help people understand what we have, where I think a Michael, a Scott Rowe, you know, the top income earners in the company, you know, these guys are tough love, but they're doing it creatively. And they're like, Andre, they're like this. They're like, you know what? I totally understand why, if I spent the money you spent on education, I don't care if you spent $5 or 50 million, I understand why you don't want to spend more money. But let me ask you this. Like, how's that working for you, right? You might structure your questions. You don't want to be a dick about it, but you want to be like, listen, man, like, I got Renatus, all right? I'm not on Craigslist looking for anything. I'm not out calling off a street sign. I'm not joining other communities. I got it all, right? So if you brought me the best thing, so let me ask you, what are you looking for then? Like, if you don't want to spend money on education, are you looking for a mentor? Do you think someone's going to mentor you for free? Like, what's missing? Why isn't it working? Why aren't you flipping houses if you spent all this money? Now, that's a tough question. And most of the time they might get mad at it, but they've already said no anyway. So if you want to waste your time, and I don't mean that, but if you want to spend more time with them, then think about it. Like, we've got to ask them hard questions, like check their look in the mirror questions. And I think that you can learn to do that through a Woody Woodward development, through personal development, and through these trainings. You can learn to do that eloquently. You can learn to do it hardcore, but still softcore, right? And otherwise, but you have to devote, in my opinion, you've got to do what I didn't do. You have to devote your time to that. You can't just be like, I'm okay. I'm gonna tiptoe around it. It needs to be on purpose. There needs to be a reason. There needs to be, you have a destination to get that person, and then, in between there, like Wanda said, bring them up to Zoom. You want to tell some stories, but more importantly, you want to ask them, listen, I just went through this. A guy I met on a one-on-one whose wife wants to do this, folks, I have been reaching out to them for the last 2 weeks on trying to get a follow-up with this guy. And one of the questions that I keep asking them, and I'm not even getting an answer except from his wife, is, wouldn't you want to have a little bit of information about what it is that we do before you make a decision on whether or not you want to do it? Like, if someone brings you a deal and you're like, I don't like that deal, how could you possibly know if you didn't get all the information, if you didn't go see the house? Like, would you honestly do that if I called you and said, hey, Mr. Prospect, I got this deal. It's, it's basically no money out of pocket. You can make $1 million. It's a lifetime deal. Would you want to do it? No, I've spent money on deals before. I just want someone to give it to me, right? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to be like, okay, yeah, I want the information. Let me see the information. I need to gather more information before I say yes. And why the heck wouldn't you do it with any other opportunity like this? Like, why would you not want all of the information before you say stupid no? So the problem is we don't have it's so much easier for me to just to sit here and say this on this call than it is for you to call this guy up and call him out on his crap. So it's hard. That's not the right words. If it's hard, it's going to manifest to be hard. It's something we're not accustomed to doing. It's something that we're not used to doing. So either we do it poorly and we do it poorly, and we don't work at it very well, or we just skip it, right? And so then we don't make as much money in the marketing. Honestly, I do want to work with those people that are having the same problem, and they, the guy is just flat out like, if it was less than 23 grand, I would do it. right? I'm like, well, there's other options, you know, let's discuss our options and see what there is. He hasn't even gotten on the phone. He's never even seen the presentation. All he did was see it through a one-on-one. And he's never seen any follow-up that I know of. He might have done a little research on his own, but I'm trying to tell him, you know, or ask him, does he want to see, you know, some of the options? Let's at least explore the information. And he's an intellectual. He's an engineer. Maybe that's the problem, but you would think that he'd want to see the information. But honestly, I mean, selfishly, the reason I'm still texting the guy is A, I'm a friend of Rebecca, his wife, and B, I want the 10 grand. I want the guy on my team. I mean, so I'm going to follow up with him till I can get the information on it. Then I'll decide. But, you know, I'll tell you guys, daily, I consider whether or not I even want to work with him. Because if he's like this, non-responsive, you know, before I'm getting him on my team, well, what's it going to be like on my team? You know what I mean? So we got to consider that. Anyway.
Hey,
So
Bill.
yeah, go ahead. Perfect.
Yes, this is one, you know, let Andrew know that we have the not property tour, but fix and flip instructor on Saturday from 9 to 5. Just tell him, leave your credit cards, you know, at home and just come for this. It's a free event for him as long as you join the $50. And he can get the information from 9 to 5 Central, and then he can decide for himself if you know, he should be able to get value from it.
Okay. And I totally agree with you guys. And that again is us explaining something to someone, in my opinion. So this is why. Let's just say you went for whatever reason, you went to a car dealership and you looked at a car. You're not really buying a car. You don't really want to spend money on a car, but you know what? Your car sucks. And you are thinking about getting a new car, but you really don't have the money. You just wish you could have a better car that's newer and has more features and safety, and maybe it's a hybrid or whatever. And you know, you're talking to the guy, the salesman, right? And you walk away. You're like, you know what, dude, I appreciate it. I gotta go. I gotta get to work. I'm gonna go. And he's like, you know what? Listen, there's no obligation. I got this thing on Saturday where if you drive the car for 100 miles, you know, we're gonna knock 20 grand off 20% off the car. And, you know, it's leave your credit card at home. There's no high pressure sales. You're gonna be able to drive all the cars you want on a racetrack or, you know, around, and we're gonna shut down the roads and you're gonna be able to go through the city and just experience, you know, the self-parking. It's gonna be awesome, right? You're gonna love it, right? And here's you thinking about this and you're like, wow, that sounds great. I would love to be able to do that, but it's freaking Saturday and I got stuff to do. I don't want to buy a car anyway. I don't want to spend any money on a car. Yeah, I'm going to have fun driving the car, but is it really worth it? So yes, you've given them an option that makes sense and sounds good, and there's no pressure and there's no credit card. But if they don't want to get it, the intensives aren't going to sell anybody on anything unless they want to be there. So we have to want them to make the decision to go to the intensive. So I agree with you, Gilda. We've got to get them to the intensive, but because they chose to go, not because we think it's a good thing for them to see where they're going to get some sort of value. Yeah, they're going to get value, but if they don't want to be there, they're going to not pay attention. They're going to click off early. You know what I mean? It's great. You might get the 1 in a million where, okay, well, some light bulb comes off, but the people that buy at the intensives are the people that want to be at the intensives and want to learn and go, holy crap, I had no idea. Now, it's not that Andre's guy won't feel that way, but Andre has to have the hard conversations like, listen, what if you could experience people that actually teach you stuff? What if our practicing instructors are doing what they're teaching and you could actually spend money and get something in return? How would that feel? And then the guy's like, well, what do you mean? And then you're like, well, you know, our guys, there's 34 instructors or whatever, 36 people. These guys are multimillionaires for the most part. I don't know all of their net worth, but they're worth some cash. Right? And they're not retired doing this. These guys are young girls. They're out living it up. This chick she didn't do this in 1962. She's doing it right now. In the last 10 years, she's done 850 deals. What if you spent $5,000 only and you could just watch Heather teach you how to go raise money and do a fix and flip, because she's doing one every 2 days. Now, would that be worth spending money? Like there was you could walk out of that room and go, I think I could do a fix and flip if I actually had her as an instructor. And then the guy it might become his idea to want to go see this, and then he may want to pay attention to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, Gilda. You're right. And Wanda, you're right. We've got to get in front of the stories. But if we're doing it because we feel they need to see it, in my opinion, we're going at it the wrong way. I think that the top income earners in this company, they don't tell. They leave a little bit of the emotion. I don't want to say that they don't care whether the person shows up or not, but they want the person to show up because they want to show up. And then when they show up, they just simply answer their questions and move them through a system, and the people want to do it, right? Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. So that's a great question, Andre. I hope that helps. You've got to look at some of these trainings or call your 5-star and get them on a 3-way call and let them ask the hard questions, about, like if we think about it, I think this is great. I'm probably spending too much time on it, but we're all getting this. Like if I could get, this guy's name is Paul. If I can get Paul on the phone, right? I might be like, Paul, what I want to say to the guy is, you got $100,000 in your savings account. You flat out told me that, this is what the guy told me. You flat out told me at the restaurant that you're not making any money on your $100,000. You want to do real estate. You lost X amount of dollars, a significant amount, more money than I've lost on a deal on this last project he did, which was a business that failed. He talked to his accountant or his financial planner, and again, he's an engineer, so he's got some money, and he's put money away in his 401k, and he's flat out got a crap ton of money in the stock market, and it's not, in a market like this, his returns are minimal compared to what he would think he should be making. This is him telling me this. If I had the balls and I could get him on the phone, I would be like, dude, you're telling me that $23,000 is too much? Here's what's his text. If there was a guarantee, I would spend the 23. And you're telling me that you want a guarantee to spend 23 grand, but you're going to let someone sit on your $300,000 and give you piddly returns? Like, what are you thinking? How long do you want that to happen? Like, how long are you going to dance around the subject that you're too afraid to do something because you won't do it? Because you want it done for you and you want some guarantee you're not going to lose money again like you did last time on an investment you weren't even hands-on. Like, that's the real truth. Now, you're not going to say it like that, but we've got to get them to give us the information and then test the pain. We've got to test the pain. And if we don't test the pain and we don't remind them of the pain and we don't push some buttons without selling them and hard selling them, then they're not going to make a decision. And you're not going to win, they're not going to win, and no one gets helped. And you might as well move on to the next person who's going to be a lay down sale. So go find that person. Otherwise, we've got to, you're right, Scott, no guarantee in the stock market. The approach that you're not chasing him, he needs, all of these thoughts, you guys are right. Whatever you think is probably right on how to deal with your prospect, but then we've got to go take the action and do it. And again, it's going to go right back to the same thing, Andre, where, you know what, so what next? Someone's waiting to actually do this and not object. Their objection may be money because they don't know that they have it, but that's the extent of it. They're ready to get started. I was talking to my realtor out here, and I started out this by saying the marketing is the fastest way to money. And when you look at Kiyosaki and all of the people that teach economics and business, and then if you remember, the model is you make more money in whatever you do, more than you need at the end of the month. So if you have a job, which most of us do, and you have a part-time business, a full-time business or full-time life, Renata supplements the income. The fastest way with zero risk is marketing, right? Especially with the comp plan today. So you jump out of the gate at 0-star and you make $3,500 on a $20,000 sale, which is the majority of the people that buy. All right. So all of a sudden, if your bills are getting met pretty much almost every month with your job or your business, all of a sudden you've got an extra $3,500. Now you've got an opportunity to put down an earnest deposit on a wholesale deal. You could possibly get a sub-2 just with one $3,500 check. You do it a couple of times, you might end up with 10 or 20 grand in the bank that you don't need. All right. So if that's the case, then you have to learn how to invest it. Now, if you think about a job, we learn how to invest our money through a through a financial planner provided to us by our job. The only reason why we use that financial planner is because the company does a match. We're not going to go out to some other financial planner and pay them to go invest our money if there's no match. We're going to use the one. So then we go meet this person at our HR department or whatever it is, or we fill out some stupid form that we have no idea what it means based on our risk aversion. We're going to go ahead and invest our money in the stock market. The point is, you don't learn how to take control of your money and make your money work for you. You hope that someone else makes it work. The Kiyosaki model is you learn real estate. You study the education, you make extra money, and then you invest your money in long-term strategies, some short-term strategies to make money. All right, I'm going to come back to this with a couple stories. I'm going to finish up with my guy out here, this realtor, 29 years old. Hey, Bill, I'm talking to a family who wants to do real estate, but doesn't think the education is the way to go. What's the best way to address that? All right, I'm just checking these. Make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, I'm talking to a family who wants to do real estate. Okay, and I'm going to beat a dead horse, you guys. I'm so sorry. I can't say that I'm vegan. That's not it. Well, the horse is already dead, so I guess sorry. So, by the way, stop buying puppies. Go to the pound and rescue them. Okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It might not be compliant. All right, so check it out. Number one is we got to ask them why, right? If someone said to me, I don't think real estate education is the way to go, is it our education? Is it like Renata's? Is it you don't like to study? You know, is it the way that you learn or the way that you want to do things? Well, yeah, you know, I want to do hands-on. I want to find out why education or this education is it particularly this education or any education in general is not the way. And then I would just question their freaking thought process. Have you ever read a book? I mean, if you ask me that, I'd probably say no, but at least I'm listening to a few now. So you might say, have you ever heard of anybody that has become wealthy and done something in their life where they weren't getting educated continually, especially specialized knowledge? Because I don't know that that's true. Do you think that's true? And they're going to say, well, no, but I mean, I like to learn this way, right? Okay, I like to be hands-on. You know what? I've done that before. I've read some books, whatever the person says, right? Okay, cool. So then I need you to tell me. This is, again, the hard knocks questions that need to be scripted, in my opinion, that the difference between us and the guys and girls making hundreds of thousands of dollars in this business, selling this education, this is the difference, is they're not afraid to ask these questions. They're not afraid to build rapport and screw up in front of them and make themselves look bad, even though they might not even be, because they were doing these things before they were making all the money and doing real estate. They were still asking these questions. They're not some expert that this person paid to coach. They're just simply someone who has a resource that they need. Okay, so if it's you, right, and I'm going to finish with that today about our posture and stuff like that. We all hear about it and we coach on it, and teach on it, but we're going to figure it out. Okay. My next question is, if that's not the case, I need to know what is it you're going to do? Like, you're telling me you're going to do real estate, but like you're not doing any real estate, or maybe you've done one deal, or what? Tell me what you've done. Like, I don't understand. Like, if this isn't the way to do it, and I'm not saying it's got to be our education, but if you're not spending money and investing in your brain, right, to learn how to do this faster, quicker, better, with less losses, less time wasted. Look how much time you've wasted thinking about this, right? Then tell me what it is you think you're going to do. What's the alternative? Because I'd like to know that. You think someone's let's just say it's me. Let's just say my buddy Bill Predebon done 150 deals, or Heather Echeverria done 800 deals, right? Let's just say one of these people all of a sudden has some charity on their mind and they're willing to go out and coach. You think someone's just going to give you all their time and teach you everything they need to know about real estate because that's the way people operate? Is they're going to give hands-on, and maybe for $5,000 they're going to teach you to make $100,000 a year in real estate? Like, it doesn't exist unless it's like maybe a family member, right? So I would want to know and I asked, like, this guy Paul, I texted him the same thing. I texted his wife because he won't respond, and I said Rebecca, what else are you guys going to do? How do you plan on making up the significant loss you had if you don't do it this way, if you don't do real estate? Like you've been talking about real estate since 2016 when this issue happened. And the only reason I know that is because I've been asking them and they've been telling me their story, right? So they're telling me what they're interested in and why real estate and how long, right? Sorry, just checking my text. So those are a few things, Bobby Johnson. Now, a couple of things we got to be able to do, right? We got to be able to get the reasons out of them. And then we've got to, of course, we've got to be able to, provide a solution, right? So that's where the stories sell, right? So instantly you're gonna be like, you know what? My buddy Bill had, you remind me of my buddy Bill, or I got to tell you, Bill had bought this and, read Rich Dad Poor Dad and, bought Carlton Sheets or whatever. And, got his education, his license and all stuff. He's trying to do it on his own. And he was trying to, he wasn't even avoiding education. He just didn't even realize what was out there. He'd never seen this opportunity. And dude, he failed. Like it cost him $320,000 worth of equity plus, right? In his first 2 deals, right? And do you want to do that? Do you want to do that? Or then he goes and finds this education, figures out a way with no money, no credit, no resource, no job, no retirement, no business, no house, no car, only a resource from his family to get started, and goes on and does his, 13 deals in his first year. Which direction? You might tell a story, right? You can go, listen, I'm not asking you to buy this education right now. It's fine. Well, actually I am, but let's just table it for a second because you just told me you don't think education is the right way. Don't you think that it would be worth your time to spend a little bit more time evaluating the opportunity, right? This is after you've gone through all these questions with them, right? And so you've already made up your mind. I don't disagree. It's not that you can't do it on your own. It's not that you can't do it without education, right? We're going to agree with them. We're going to give them their bone, right? But if you could find a way that you might be able to do it faster, maybe you could do it a little better. Maybe you could reduce the amount of risk that you might be exposing yourself to. If that was the case, would it be worth another hour or so of your time to keep exploring a little bit of what I'm offering you? And if they say no, or they're like hesitant, right? Boom, on a drip list, move on. But at least you try to overcome this individual that's flat out telling you. When you listen to Streamline Persuasion, every objection means the same damn thing. And it all buckles down to the one thing. There are people that will say no to Renatus for whatever reason, like at the end of the day, but they have all the information. If they don't have all the information, then they're objecting to spending money on something they're afraid of, something they don't think that they're going to do anything with it. That's probably the problem, is my guess. All right, let's keep moving. All right. Yes. Love it. I love these questions. Okay, so my, hold on, my guy's here. I got my buddy Marcos here, and he is working on some of the stuff in the house. So we're getting ready to sell this one, and we're out looking for. I'm going to end with this too. You're welcome, Bobby. The opportunity, man, to buy long-term property is just the greatest thing. You guys are all going to experience this in half the time that I've done it, and because you're marketing your business, you're making sales, you're dedicated to this, and when you get those extra bucks, you don't have the same pressure to do a flip and stuff like that. You can learn to buy properties through lease options and owner financing and creative subject twos and stuff like that. And when you're marketing to people, and those people, you can turn on any lights you need. The people are going to come to you, and then they're going to bring you money in deals, and you're going to be a part of the Renatus wealth cycle. And 5-10 years down the road from now, you're going to be selling assets and upgrading and 1031ing, and not even 10 years, and just growing your net worth. And it's the best part about real estate. There's nothing more exciting than selling assets. I wasn't going to skip onto this, but this Solana Beach condo, right? Like, it was an owner finance deal. Most of you heard the story off Craigslist for $25K out of pocket. And we've owned it for 5 years, and we're going to net over $250,000, right? So that's 50 grand a year passively, if you think about it, in appreciation. right? 50 grand a year in equity. So I'm making, I know, Evie, come here. I'm making that money without, I said, we are making that money, Evie, come here, without going to work, right? That doesn't include the tax benefits of this tax shelter for the last 5 years. And it doesn't include the income that we made on the nightly rental. It also doesn't include the write-offs to California, 100% write-off 2 times a year every time we come out here, right? And then the next time I come out here and stay, I can't write off the whole thing in the stink, right, with the IRS, but I can write off half the business because I'm out looking for real estate anyway. It's ridiculous. Like, these are the strategies that make sense. And I'm gonna talk about those in my resources here. Okay, so my agent out here is 29, one of our agents. I have multiple, right? That's a common question. Like, I'll tell you, how did I get Zach? His name's not Zach, Josh. He's a go-getter, man. He's over like $20 million in sales this year, and he's 29 years old. He called me 2 years ago off when we had it listed, and then we decided not to sell it. And he goes, you know what, Bill? Hey, Bill, this is Josh. I got this. I answered the phone for some reason that day. And he goes, we were just having a beer last night, a Sunday night when I got in, and he was telling the story to my wife. I go, he goes, hey, I'm interested, for your deal. I see you took it off the market. I've got buyers ready, lined up to go. And I probably could sell your property. Are you still interested in selling? You so laid some script on me, whatever it was. And I go, Josh, hold on a minute. I go, dude, don't sit here and tell me that you've got some buyers ready to go. Are you telling me you got a buyer that called you up and said, I want to buy 825 Valley Avenue? He's like, well, no, I'm like, exactly. You don't have buyers. That's your bullcrap comment that you're telling me that some broker told you to say when you go call cold leads. I go, be honest, man. Call me up and go, you know what, Bill? I'd be willing to hustle my butt off to get you a buyer for your property if you're still willing to sell it. That's a different pitch because I get the same damn pitch from every other agent that calls me up telling me they got buyers in the area. Yeah, if you got buyers in the area, you'd be selling property, right? So it was interesting because they're like, you know what, Bill, you're right. I want to work hard for you. I'm just getting my business going in real estate. And this guy's been busting his butt. You know what he got? He got the listing on this house, right? That's what he got. He earned the listing on this house, and he's probably going to find me $1 million to $1.5 million property on the beach. That he's also going to be an agent representing me. And when I start doing flips out in San Diego pretty soon, he's probably going to be involved in those, right? He's also buying the education. So I'm talking to to Josh, and his dad's a surgeon, an ENT rather, and his dad makes money. And his dad wants to put money into real estate. When you have a business that brings you extra money, you can put money into real estate. But his dad, interestingly enough, has it in the stock market because his dad doesn't understand real estate. But his dad watches all his other doctor friends that own their own commercial buildings and lease it out to other doctors. And he sees their retirement versus his. Now, his is a good retirement, but he wants to jump into this. He wants to get this money and put it in play in real estate. The business model that Bob has set up is simply make a crap ton of extra money at the end of the month that you don't need, and then invest that money into real estate. Put it in a place where it's the one asset that brings you income. It's the one asset that depreciates, right? It's the one asset that you can go use if you want. It's the number one place to tax shelter money. And then you can also transfer those funds to your family as a legacy without any type of inheritance and without any, if you do it structured properly, which is what we teach you anyway, right? On some of our tax and legal. So all of these things are opportunity. The opportunity for us folks is if you're like me and you do it the wrong way and you quit your job and you're too damn stubborn to go try to get a job and you only apply for the jobs you want, not the jobs you need, and you think that you're going to go to get some, call center job that's 100% commission and then you just blow that off, then that's fine. It's not as easy. And then you're going to need to do fix and flip to make a living. But if you do fix and flip like Chris Wilson and you do it on the side and you wholesale on the side and you learn how to borrow other people's money and you learn how to and he used to do a lot of his own work in the properties on nights and weekends, and you're willing to have a second job that pays you like none other, then yeah, do a fix and flip, make a little extra money. But why take all that risk and work nights and weekends when you can work on your lunch break and your 15-minute breaks, or before work or after work, you know, our nightly meetings, and have no risk, and you can make an extra 10 grand a month marketing the education. And with that 10 grand a month, most likely you're going to come across a fix and flip, inviting people onto your team, and then you can be studying the education in the long run. So I'm gonna, Keely, I don't know the time. Do I have it on my clock here? I don't have a watch on.
It's 58, so, or 59. So
Holy crap, we're at the top of the hour. Wow, that's amazing. And we've got the meetings after. So I'm gonna finish with this. All right, 760-53, I'm gonna just tell a quick story. 3141. 760-533-314. You guys might know the number. All right. I talked to my friend yesterday off Facebook. I don't know. In my opinion, if you're not Facebook marketing, you're crazy. Whether you've done a deal or not, share the deals and be transparent. Hey, this is my friend of a community I just joined. You know what? I've been in real estate a year and I've never done a single deal, but this is my friend and this is what I aspire to do. If you ever thought about it, join me. Whatever, call me. Do whatever you need to do to be creative, to share other people's stories on Facebook about their deals if you don't have your own, but your people are watching. I haven't talked to Tim Bond in freaking 30 years. And he reached out to me last night. People want, he must have said it to me last night. I'm on the porch cleaning up, getting ready for photos today. And he said to me, I have wanted to do this for so long. I inherited this house right across the street from Michigan Tech campus where we grew up. He's like, I've gutted it. I maxed out my credit cards. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of money. It's got $200,000 of equity in it, and I'm just foaming at the mouth, right? So possibly I'm going to just try to help him keep this deal. But it could be a partnership deal for me. This thing's got 7 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms right across campus. It's probably going to rent like through the roof. I know exactly where this house is in our hometown. More importantly, he's telling me how badly he's been wanting to get into real estate for so long and simply doesn't know how to do it. All of these people that were like, oh, this guy Paul, my guy Paul, I don't want to spend 23 unless there's a guarantee, you know, yeah, I lost money, blah, 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 blah. And he's telling me all these stories and he's loaded to the, you know, he's got all kinds of resources, all of these things. That's great. Eventually they will, it's not now, it's just not, or it's no, not now. Eventually they're going to, I want to work with people that want to work with me. I want to work with people that want to do this. And there are people all over the country that want to do this, that are just dying to figure this out. They've tried it on their own. They're sick and tired of not being able to do it. And we have the best opportunity on the planet to show them. We just are too afraid to do it for whatever our reasons are. So in my opinion, I would spend more time, I'm doing this myself right now, getting over why I'm so afraid or so, you know, so great and making excuses on why not to do something now and talk to somebody now and invite them now versus later. Don't do what I did. Do what Michael and Scott and everybody on the pack do. Dane Clark. And just talk to people about real estate investing. Do the marketing and the real estate will come. All right, I'm out of time, right, Keels?
yes, sir.
We got that 8 o'clock. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, go get on the real estate. I'm going to be on the real estate right now. It's the new Zoom. It's the new you. All right. Keely, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you,
Keely,
Keely.
you're awesome. Thank you for
See
your
you on the other
contribution.
side.
Thanks, Bill. We'll see you guys
Yeah.
on another webinar.
All right.
Thank you, Bill.
You got it, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Make it a great day. See you on the
Thank
real
you,
estate.
Bill.
You're welcome.
Thank
Go
you.